solve 1 over m equals c squared over e for e. This one is more complicated because there are fractions on both sides. However, we have dealt with equations with fractions before. The very first step when we're solving an equation with fractions is to get rid of the fractions by multiplying both sides by the least common denominator. And in this case, because the denominators are m and e, the least common denominator is me. So we need to multiply both sides by me. On the left-hand side, the m's cancel because we've got one out front and one in the bottom, and we're left with e times 1, which is e. On the right-hand side, the e's cancel because we've got one in the denominator and one out front, and so we have c squared times m, which is c squared m. And this is a perfectly fine answer. However, you may have seen it written differently. If we switch the order of the variables on the right, we get e equals mc squared, which is quite a famous formula. And we're done because we've got e all by itself, and that was the goal. In this case, just multiplying both sides by the LCD got the e alone. There might be other cases where after we do that, the e isn't alone, and then we have to do another step, dividing something or subtracting something, etc. But for this one, these are our final answers.